Ridiculous questions.
Meticulously debated.
This is Tell Me I'm Wrong.
Well, I was happy just last night. I've been losing sight. Citing all the falling fights. What is this if this ain't right? Back again, the monster rights. Losing life until that night. Life never let him lie. Light as my fire passes way.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tell Me I'm Wrong. This is your man Joe, and I will be moderating this week.
Hey everybody, I'm Ryan, and I'll be debating this week.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Josh, and I will also be debating again, the reigning champion of Tell Me I'm Wrong.
I guess technically.
I've got the belt.
You do currently have the belt. Yeah, why did we spend so much money on that belt? We're not even in the same room right now.
It's mostly stayed at Joe's house, so I'm just glad that it has made its way out.
That's the ridiculous thing is you all were talking about having a fictional belt, and I have an actual belt.
Oh no, we've got a real belt. Did you not get the memo?
Well, Josh, I'm glad you could finally win a trophy.
I have plenty of trophies, most of which are participation, but that's beyond the point.
We're millennials. That's all the trophies we have.
When you're an adult, what do you do with those?
Nothing.
I just want to throw them away. And my mom is like, don't throw them away. And I'm like, what? You can keep them then.
Leah and I are notoriously just not sentimental at all. We don't keep anything. Like, I barely have kept anything like memento. Like, I'm just not sentimental. I don't care. And especially I'm not going to keep some trophy that I got for kicking a ball when I was 4 years old. Like, come on.
I've got one trophy, and that was when I won Mr. Baseball.
Mr. Baseball, my ass.
Wait, Mr. Baseball of what?
For the state.
No.
I don't believe you. I'm going to need some proof of that.
I don't know where it is. I thought it was on the shelf.
Nevertheless, for people of our age, in a lot of ways, a podcast is the participation trophy of this generation. So
that's true. The microphone is your trophy.
All of us got participation trophies because if we didn't get participation trophies, we'd be doing something else.
Exactly.
So this is how we deal with those things.
So, boys, how are you? I just got back from vacation. It's the first time we've all got together and talked. How are you all doing?
Vacation Joe. He's back in normal clothes. We don't have to stare at that floral print every week.
Tanner. So I got back Friday, and guys, I have been stuck on Unsolved Mysteries. Have you watched this? The new episodes on Netflix. I've actually went back and watched old episodes, but I'm watching the new ones.
I have not watched the new ones, but my coworkers watch Unsolved Mysteries all the time, so I am very familiar with the show.
I have watched the first couple, but I haven't quite solved all those mysteries yet. I've got a few more to go.
Netflix has 6 new ones, and they're releasing more later in the year. And then Amazon Prime has like 12 seasons of it. I've been watching. That's the one with Robert Stack, the creepiest man in the world. I've loved them, every one of them. It blows my mind that we can't figure this stuff out, but it is what it is. So I've been watching a lot of Unsolved Mysteries. And I've been watching another new show. Do you all have HBO? Or HBO Max, I guess is HBO Max is the...
I honestly, I keep wanting to get it because I will admit, I want to watch Friends.
Oh.
Well, I don't watch Friends. That show's awful.
Right. Listen, it's not on anything. And it's a comfort show. It's one of those shows I just watch. I've watched all the time and I miss it.
It's the worst TV show of all time. I'm going to be honest. But anyways, I digress. So we have HBO Max, and they have all of Sesame Street. So Sloan has been watching a little Sesame Street. I never watched it as a kid. Those things are creepy.
I loved Sesame Street personally.
I was a Barney guy.
Did as well.
I was a Barney guy.
I was a Barney person. I feel like I have just like a mutual respect for all of the kids shows because I liked Barney. I liked Sesame Street. I feel like I also watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Eureka's Castle.
Gullah Gullah Island.
Oh, yeah. Binya Binya.
The puppet game back in the day was just on point.
So what Joe is getting at is all children's shows are at least a little bit creepy.
I can't think of one that's not.
Especially now that it's on HBO Max. It's adult humor, which actually...
It's not just TV.
While we're thinking about it, they really need to make Westworld, but just with Muppets.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I need that.
Isn't Sesame Street kind of Westworld? I mean, they're puppets who are living and following this order, and they do the same thing every day.
And there are human beings there, so perhaps it is a simulation.
Sesame Street was Westworld before they had Westworld is really just an expanded universe.
Is this like Inception?
Man, this is going to be a really conspiracy theory heavy episode.
Yeah, it just makes me really concerned that Mr. Hooper was some sort of like creep that spent $50,000 to be transported into this imaginary puppet world.
There are so many, now that you've said that, there are so many HBO shows that I would like to see Elmo and Big Bird star in. Like just
The Sopranos.
Bert and Ernie could be in Ballers.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones with the Muppets. I mean,
would be just. I mean, that is a piece of art right there.
Girls. I mean, come on.
All right, so back to Sesame Street. Joe, I think it was you that pitched us this topic. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I pitched this topic. Who of all the Sesame Street characters, and it looks like there's about 47 of them. Who?
Oh my goodness, I didn't realize that.
The most untrustworthy. Who would you trust the least? If this was Unsolved Mysteries with Sesame Street characters, who is the one you would obviously think is the obvious suspect? They did it.
Now, you said there's 47 characters. When I
just made that up, 4 or 5.
Okay, well, it might be correct. I think there's more than that because there's an alarming number of characters in Sesame Street. As I was looking through all these, like just the sheer volume of puppets that these people created, and that's not even counting the humans that were on the show.
I'm sorry, don't say these people. Jim Henson.
Jim Henson created. He had helpers.
That's true.
You know, he had a team.
He's the man. He is the puppet man.
But the sheer volume that they created is outrageous. Now,
I count 26 just on the little Google character sheet.
That's got to be just main characters. There's way more than that.
Why is there so many?
Now, I think it's fair to say, in looking back, that all of them are pretty weird in their own ways. So starting from there, the baseline, like the only one that I actually trust when I was looking at these is Oscar the Grouch, because he's the only one that's honest about who he is.
Well, I think you could probably trust Cookie Monster. He just tells you what he wants.
When you look at Sesame Street with 2020 vision, as in from a 2020 perspective, I think Joe's right. I think Joe and Josh are right. Oscar the Grouch and Cookie Monster are the only rational puppets or characters on this show.
No, you can't trust Cookie Monster either. He is a textbook.
You can trust Cookie Monster because Cookie Monster want cookies.
He's going to steal your stuff and sell it for cookies.
But he's not mean. He's never once mean. He just he is driven by cookies. And that's
I don't know that I would say Elmo's mean, but he does want you to tickle him. And that's weird.
Elmo is another discussion. We may have to bring Sesame Street back up so I can talk about Elmo because he might be one of the most frightening. I don't think he's the most untrustworthy, but he is very frightening.
But Big Bird, don't trust him as far as I could throw him, which is not very far.
Bert and Ernie are definitely coming up with some scheme.
Bert and Ernie are
I could
interesting.
trust Bert and Ernie.
Because I agree, because
they're mostly boring.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just an old couple.
Is Bert and Ernie, are they a couple?
It's never been confirmed, but I like to think that they are in a very loving, committed relationship, personally.
And let's be honest, they're a very successful couple. They've been together for years.
They have a nice apartment in the city.
Whatever their skincare routine is, it's amazing because they do not age.
Was it ever confirmed that Sesame Street is in New York City? I just heard that, but I don't know that that's true.
But I mean, look at the stoop. The stoop gives it away. Those don't exist anywhere else.
That's true. Sesame Street's in Brooklyn.
I was going to say, it's Brooklyn. It's a brownstone. It's 100% in Brooklyn, which gives the whole show a different light. If you look at Sesame Street as Sesame Street, Brooklyn.
I mean, I can just see Big Bird in some high waters and a white linen shirt now.
I can see Oscar the Grouch walking into a hipster bar and ordering a hoppy IPA.
Nah, that dude's getting a PBR and we know it.
Oh, you're right. You're right. And then smoking in the back.
It came on in 1969.
I know, man. The show has been on forever.
And it moved from PBS to HBO. What other show could ever say it made the transition from PBS to HBO?
Taxi Cab Confessions.
Is that true?
Is it really?
No. Taxi Cab Confessions wasn't on PBS.
You got both of us.
Lord. Anyways, moving on. When I was looking at the list of characters, there was one in particular that spoke to me, but not for any reasons about what I knew about him. It was purely because he just always rubbed me the wrong way.
Was it Elmo?
Oh, Lord. No, it was not Elmo.
God. Okay, we got to bring it together, guys.
We can't. Oh, Lord.
Tickle me, Josh.
Well, there's your episode title.
Yeah, it has to be called Tickle Me Josh.
Tickle Me Josh.
Oh.
I can't come
man.
back from that. Oh, man.
Anyways.
Well, you guys finish. I'm done.
Yeah, I don't know that I can continue. I mean...
All right, so I think Joe still won, even as moderator.
Anyways, let's
All right,
take a
everybody
deep
take a
breath.
sip, take a breath.
Take a deep breath.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Now,
That was the funniest moment of this show so far. Wow.
Let me circle back. We're going to have to ban Elmo talk because
Yeah. No more Elmo talk.
we will only refer to Elmo as he who cannot be named.
The
we will
red
move
one.
on. The red one. So the one that I was trying to get at is not the red one, but it is the blue
Bet you
one.
were.
Oh my gosh.
It's one of those episodes.
We can't. I was saying that it's not the red one, but it's the blue one, and that is Grover.
There's more than one blue one, but I'll let you keep going.
Well, he is the main blue one.
He's the main blue one. I'll
Grover
give
is
you that.
perhaps top 5 most beloved Sesame Street characters, probably. I mean, if we're talking about that, he's definitely up there.
I feel like he's sort of like that cousin that everybody has.
Yeah.
That's just like a little bit stupid, but like everybody loves him, but you're also a little worried about him.
Very worried about him because initially when I picked him, it was for no other reason than we didn't jive. He didn't, I don't think we clicked. He just seemed too weird for me. He describes himself as a cute, furry little monster. Much like other Muppets and other characters on Sesame Street, he is pretty indeterminate. Like, I don't know what he is. He's just lanky, blue, furry, weird. He's got a pink nose. He's just long and lanky. He looks like, I don't know, blue Slender Man, but if he had like a beer gut, like I can't.
And a bulbous head.
And a bulbous head, I just can't do it with him. He also has a very distinct vocal style. He was originally voiced by Frank Oz, who is a Jim Henson production legend. The man is multi-talented, but when he did the voice for Grover, he intentionally made it to where he doesn't use contractions, and a lot like Joe, often mispronounces words. So just can't talk right.
That was a low blow.
And then
He's wrong. He's not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
This podcast has just made me feel like I can't talk.
Listen, you've
But
already had the best joke of the show, so you should feel pretty good about yourself.
I shouldn't be taking shots at you because you already won. He is described as multi-talented, but it's not clear what he's talented at. It seems like nothing if you watch the show. Because,
Grover is described as multi-talented?
yes, that is from Sesame Street. He is multi-talented, multifaceted. And he's known mostly for often trying to like help people and be overly helpful, but he always does so like super poorly, to the point that if we're talking about trustworthiness, it leads me to think that he's just doing it intentionally to cause chaos. Like there's no other explanation for why he's so bad at everything.
So are you making the argument that Grover is a Joker-esque agent of chaos?
Oh, very much so. Like he is, I really believe that he's just out there to cause problems, but that's not actually.
He's just here to watch the world burn.
He's here to watch the world burn. And I'm not going to get into it quite yet because I do want to wait on it and let you, Ryan, introduce your character. But that is just the beginning of the stuff that is concerning about Mr. Grover. So I'm going to pass it off to you and let you kind of
right.
do your thing.
Well, when this topic was pitched, Josh was pretty confident right away. He was like, you know what, Grover, I have this gut feeling. And it turned out it was a great gut feeling. Mine took a little more thought, but not much, because I started thinking through my favorite Sesame Street characters. Elmo came to mind, not super trustworthy. You know, there were some others that popped up, but
the red one, Ryan.
There was I'm sorry, the red one. He who must not be named. There was one that really stuck out because he just doesn't seem to quite fit, and for multiple reasons, and that is Count Von Count, or the Count.
They really had to stretch that nickname.
Yeah, no kidding. So the Count first appears on Sesame Street in season 4 in 1972 with Bert and Ernie. So he's a pretty close to the original cast. Been there for a very long time. He was actually voiced by a legend in the Jim Henson universe, Jerry Nelson.
Is everybody just a legend in the Jim Henson universe?
I guess anybody who worked with him, but he's actually the late Jerry Nelson. He passed in 2012, so the Count is now voiced by a different actor. But as I started digging into the Count as a character, I found that there are just some really disturbing things about this puppet that exists on a television show. The first being, he's very explicitly a vampire.
Clearly.
And I don't think that the children really process that, but as an adult, just trying to process that there is a vampire living among these like Bert and Ernie and Grover and Elmo and Big Bird is this vampire, very explicitly a vampire. There are a little bit of inconsistencies about whether he's actually stated as a vampire, but there are so many contributing factors that I think it just it has to be assumed that he's a vampire. In an early sketch, the Count waves his hands to exercise hypnotic power over the other Muppets.
And the children at home, I assume.
Yeah. There's another skit where he has no reflection in the mirror. So like they are clearly pointing to the fact that he is a vampire, and he's actually his actual puppet is, characterized after the Bela Lugosi portrayal of Count Dracula.
So all signs point to yes.
So I think it's pretty clear without me going too far in. I mean, he has a cape, he has an affinity for bats, and he has fangs.
Does his skin sparkle in the sun?
Well, his skin is purple.
Oh.
So
even more concerning.
Yeah, he should get that looked at.
so I mean, there are some points there. So I think it's very clear they are trying to pass him off as a vampire. And I think the fact that there's a vampire, which is among the most mysterious characters in fiction, living on Sesame Street, makes him clearly the most untrustworthy. But there are even more reasons that I can get into.
And it's a shame they moved to HBO so late, because they missed the Sexy Count reboot by like 5 years.
Like 2012 was when the original voice actor passed away. And I feel like if they had made that move around 2012 to HBO, we really could have had like a Count spinoff, and it's like, you know, it's that kind of puppet show, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, there's all kinds of spinoffs. You could do a Twilight spinoff in the Count versus like say Oscar the Grouch as like a Jacob character, a werewolf style.
Well, there's even like wolves in the Three Little Pigs episodes.
There you go. It's made. It's ready.
I was gonna say, I think you just pop the Count into the existing Twilight franchise. So you're either Team Jacob, Team Edward, or Team Count. Simple enough. We just made another hit. We are churning out the Sesame Street HBO Muppet relationship. I think that they should sponsor our show, or at the very least,
we gotta mail this to ourselves so we can copyright it. So they have to send us royalties.
Dear Jim Henson.
I think it's Jim Henson Productions. I think he has since passed. Maybe just write the letter, send it over to me. I'll proofread it. And we'll tag team this thing. So I think the Count's a good choice. Because I agree, he seems weird, but just like all the other ones. But in looking at it, I feel like we're discounting just how odd Grover's backstory is. And I think it's a lot of things that people just don't seem to know. So the first thing that I think really contributes to Grover's overall untrustworthiness is that he sounds like the Red One if the Red One was a chain smoker. Like, absolutely. Grover's just pounding packs a day, but he's still keeping that childlike wonder of the Red One. In fact, when I was doing some research to find out exactly how old, because it's not even clear how old any of these characters are. The Red One, seems to be a small child. Grover seems to be a little bit older, but I went and looked it up. And so according to Nogginoid, whatever that is, Grover is written to represent the psychological age of a 4-year-old. Now, they explicitly don't say that he is 4 years old. They say it represents the psychological age of a 4-year-old.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's super creepy.
It opens up even more questions about Grover because you don't know. So then, in a Snapchat that was posted by the New York Times, they asked Grover how old he was, and Grover claimed that he is, quote unquote, older than a bread box, but young enough to still live at home with my mommy.
If you talk like that, you shouldn't be on Snapchat.
First off, yes, you should not be on the Snapchat. Second of all, I don't even know what that means.
Older than a bread box.
How old is a bread box? And then secondly, like, who says but young enough to live at home with my mommy? If it's anything like the people that I went to high school and college with, you're still not too old to live with your mommy.
So, and also, they're definitely not older than bread boxes.
He is deliberately being vague about his age and his origins. And that doesn't sit well with me. Now, as I did more research on Grover's origins, you find out that his character initially debuted in 1967, which was, as we noted earlier, 2 years before Sesame Street came out. So the character's been around for a while. And he debuted on the Ed Sullivan Show on Christmas Eve in 1967. But he was not known as Grover. He was known as Gleep. Gleep. Gleep.
So is this a multiple personality disorder situation?
Yeah. So, I mean, at the very least, and on that episode, he was one of several monsters who were plotting to steal toys from Santa's workshop.
All right.
Now, he debuts as Gleep. He goes to steal the toys, and somewhere in there, he transitions over to the name Grover. Now, if you all take a look at our chat that we share here, I'm going to send you all over a link. Now, this will take you over to the muppet.fandom.com page for what they call Proto-Grover. This is Grover, I guess, in the time between being Gleep and being Grover. He originally had darker green, gray fur, and I guess could best be described as deflated Grover.
Oh.
I would encourage everybody to look this up at home.
He looks like he got run over by a truck.
I know.
Grover got ran over by a reindeer.
On Christmas Eve, trying to steal toys. So I'm going to take us into a segment that I'm going to call Josh's Conspiracy Corner. And I'm going to tell you that I believe, deep down in my heart, that Grover, things went wrong with this toy stealing effort. And he went to prison. And while he was in prison, he got shredded and got tall and lanky, cleaned up his image, and when he got out, he became a con artist.
Gosh.
Now, look, I know this sounds insane, but if you look at the facts, I think it's pretty clear that something's not right with Grover. As an example of that, I mentioned that Grover likes to help. Well, Grover also likes to not hold down a steady job because he's had a bunch of them. And the only things that could explain this is that he either is a bad employee who's a deadbeat, or he is a con artist that assumes different identities and uses them for negative gain. Now, I'm just going to read you a list of the jobs that Grover's held because they are truly shocking. And they include archaeologist, artist, astronaut, baker, barista, bellhop, bus driver, camp counselor, Christmas tree salesman, clerk, concession stand attendee, chauffeur, conductor, construction worker, Diplomat, doctor, detective, dog walker, falafel vendor, farmer, fireman, flight attendant, game show host, grocer, health instructor, home renovator, hot dog vendor, ice cream vendor, a king, librarian, lifeguard, lumberjack, magician, mail carrier, meteorologist, paleontologist, photographer, pilot, plumber, professor, repairman, royal footman, safari tour guide, safety monitor, salesman, scientist, secret agent, superhero, taxi driver, town crier, travel agent, and a waiter.
I'm going to be honest. I don't even know what is a royal footman?
I don't know. Why is he doing safari tours? Where's that in Sesame Street?
And what is a town crier? Do you just cry?
How did he become a king? He was a town crier, a prince, and a king.
I think
which
some of these are
within
made
the same universe makes no
sense. A town
sense.
crier is something from medieval times where they would announce the news.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, all those jobs lead to, like I said, either him being a bad employee with a lengthy resume that...
I'm still on Proto-Grover. This is how did they think this was a good idea?
It wasn't. That's why they had to, shape him up.
He looks like a demon.
The best way I could describe him is he looks like one of the aliens from Space Jam, but before they turn into basketball superstars.
But much hairier.
Yeah.
Like just kind of doughy and sad, kind of like myself. So he's held all these jobs. Proto-Grover is horrifying. He used to be Gleep. Now he's Grover. And now you might ask, well, what does he do in all these jobs other than, be bad at them? He uses them specifically to terrify one character in particular. Now, this is not a character that you might be familiar with, but he was in a lot of Sesame Street episodes. And that character is named Mr. Johnson. Now, Mr. Johnson is a fellow blue character with a pink nose, and he has a sad-looking mustache, sad brown hair. I will send you all another link because, you got to see this. So Mr. Johnson is a sad-looking individual.
Oh, yeah, I know Mr. Johnson.
Now, most of the time when Grover has a job, Mr. Johnson shows up and Grover provides him intentionally bad service. Like, unnecessarily antagonizes this man. So I surmise that Mr. Johnson either has to be the owner of he was like the head person running Santa's toy shop, or he was the one that ratted him out. Now, were they cellmates in prison?
He's a figment of Grover's imagination.
He might be. Or Mr. Johnson spent a ton of money to go to the Westworld Sesame Street place. So nothing good's happening, but Grover is at the places that Mr. Johnson goes to shop. He's the flight attendant when Mr. Johnson flies. He even shows up at Mr. Johnson's house when he's carrying mail or being a delivery driver. So Grover knows where this man lives.
What if Grover's like multiple personality and Mr. Johnson's one of his other personalities?
He might be. There is no answer.
This is just a coincidence, but I have to bring up this fact. He is voiced by Jerry Nelson, same as Count Von Count, and then took over by Matt Vogel, the same person who took over Count Von Count. So Mr. Johnson is voiced by the same exact actor who was voicing the Count Von Count.
Oh man, I think we need to get like a cork board with some push pins, and we need to start mapping this out because
and red string.
Josh's conspiracy corner is going to be a full episode at some point. Everyone, please look forward to that. We haven't decided on which conspiracy yet, but it's coming.
Well, now that we've mentioned the Count, I feel like that's a natural transition to just let you take over, Ryan.
All right. So there's one main conspiracy theory about Count Von Count, but I want to go back first to just the strangeness of him being on Sesame Street. And then I'll get to my main point, which is really quite frightening. One, he lives in a scary cobweb-filled castle and bat-filled castle. He has fang-like teeth, and his skin is purple. I just need to keep bringing that up. It just seems very odd to me. So,
it's really bothering you.
So as I was looking, I also was on this Muppet fandom site. He has named 4 bats. He has a cat and an octopus.
So he's a bat lady.
He's a bat lady. He has 4 named bats. So Grisha, Misha, Sasha, and Tatiana. He has a cat named Fatatita and an octopus named Octavia.
See, that just seems lazy.
I know. I was a little disappointed in the Octavia. He also plays the pipe organ like most counts would. And there are just the strangeness just continues. So on the website, on Sesame's Workshop website, it does not use the word vampire to describe him. But in Sesame Street Unpaved, the book, he is described as a numerical vampire. But then in 2001, the Sesame Street Muppets Drawing Guide lists him and says, "The Count is not a vampire," close quote.
Not a vampire.
So the inconsistencies with the trying to say he's a vampire versus no, he's definitely not a vampire is just a little concerning to me, and I feel like they're trying to hide something.
Do you think this is the Count trying to convince people like he doesn't exist so he can live in anonymity?
There's got to be something there. Like, that is really the thing, is I don't know what he's hiding, but clearly there's something.
What is it? The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people he didn't exist?
That's right. He also has 4 fingers on each hand, and he teaches counting to children. So there's that. So this is the most concerning thing. There was an interview with the BBC where the Count was asked, "What is your favorite number?" The number he gave was 34,969.
Nice.
There has been much debate about what this means. The only other information the Count gave in this interview was it's a square root thing, close quote. That was all that was given. There was no more information, and it is maddening trying to find more information about why he chose this massive number. The most compelling argument that I can find is the most concerning thing that I have ever heard about a children's show. And this is going to make my point. We might as well end the show right here. The square root, which is what he mentioned, of 34,969 is 187. 187 is the American Police Code for murder.
Oh, shit.
This is a deep dive.
I am completely convinced that the Count has murdered 2 people because it is the square of 187, and that is his favorite number.
But wouldn't that be?
I don't know if it means he has murdered.
Wouldn't the Count have murdered 187 people? Because it'd be 187 times 187 to get to square root.
Maybe he's murdered whatever that is, like 374 people. I don't listen. It is the most surprising number. I don't know why he has chosen this number.
I'm going to be honest. What's even more creepy is that someone who writes children's shows sat down and figured this out. If that's really the correlation of it, they sat down and figured this out and then put it out for kids to consume.
There is an article that talks about all the different correlations, and none of them make sense. Like, they're all just kind of loose. And this is the only one. Like, the 187 correlation has to be there. And I just don't understand why 187 squared would be what he has chosen, other than he is trying to hide the fact that he is a killer.
Okay. Ryan, can I welcome you real quick into Josh's conspiracy corner?
Look, I'm comfortable in the chair in the corner.
Because I think we might have stumbled upon something pretty big here.
I'm saying maybe Grover's an accomplice. Maybe this is a 2-man job.
So Grover, or Gleep, was going to rob Santa's workshop with 2 other Muppets. We know that Gleep became Grover. Now, those 2 other Muppets, they're not named, and we don't know where they went. Now, is it possible that both Mr. Johnson and the Count are in on this? The Count killed the 2 other Muppets.
Maybe
because
Mr. Johnson is the Count.
Santa's Workshop. Yeah, the Santa's Workshop caper did not go well.
If you actually,
and so now,
wait, hold on. If you actually look at the shape of their heads and everything, Mr. Johnson and the Count do not look unsimilar.
This is true. So perhaps it's a disguise. Or perhaps he doesn't want you to know he's a vampire because vampires can shapeshift.
There it is. I'm telling you.
So they were in on this together. They killed the other two monsters and they're hiding it from everybody.
And then they somehow ended up on the same street together, but they refused to acknowledge the fact that they knew each other before. Listen, it goes deeper.
Yo, this is some real deep diving. It would only be better if you were on a Facebook group page.
Yes.
We might have to start one. I also might have to change my name and move because clearly Grover's able to track people down.
Listen, I've uncovered a vampire. That means he lives forever. Like, what can I even do against that?
Do you have garlic in your house?
I always.
Okay. You should be fine.
In season 40, the Count listed garlic as a pet peeve, which I thought was actually kind of funny.
Nobody can know about this outside of the three of us.
And however many people who listen to the show.
Oh, no. Yeah, this is a podcast.
People are going to hear this.
All right,
we're so sorry, everybody.
We can't release this one.
We're so sorry. We're so sorry. We have endangered so many people.
No, I had my good Elmo joke.
That was a good joke.
You said his name. I think. Okay. Listen, I think maybe we should take a break here. And perhaps
I need to go pace and maybe count all the things in my house.
Okay. We can do that. We need to pay some bills. Whose office are we going to?
I mean,
I think we should go to my office. Mine is clearly the nicest, so I think we should go to my office.
Well, we haven't been to mine in a while, so I think maybe we should do mine.
No,
I mean, you all haven't seen it in a while. I added the new furniture. I've added a few more things. I got some beautiful fake succulents.
Guys, come on. We haven't been to my office in a couple episodes. Let's go to mine.
I think we just went to your office, didn't we? Not that long ago.
No.
Come to my office.
No,
Ryan.
I'm going to my office.
No, I'm going to my office.
Well, fine.
Forget you. Screw you.
No, whatever.
I hate you.
Well, I don't think they realize I have the ad. So I guess I'll just go to my office and read it really quick. This is weird. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to go to my office real quick. Hold on. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I don't know what the heck is going on with two of them. I'm just going to read this ad real quick and try to figure that out. I just want to take a minute and spotlight Southern Draw Creations. We've talked about in the past. It's a company we all love. They make custom glassware. They can either design their own pieces or do custom logos for you. They are a Kentucky couple. The company was formed here in 2014. They offer Southern decor and pop culture themed glassware, as well as their popular and affordable custom design pieces. Whether you want your own logo, monogram, phrase, quotes, or really anything you can dream up, they can do it for you. I think we're even trying to get in talks with them to do some Tell Me I'm Wrong glassware, Later Losers glass. I think that'd be cool. Southern Draw Creations loves designing goods that bring people together, and now you can have those pieces, those timeless pieces that are specific just to you. You can reach them at their website, www.southerndrawcreations.com. And for the month of July, if you enter the promo code WRONG, WRONG, you will get 15% off your purchase. That's WRONG, WRONG, and get 15% off your purchase. Now head on over there, pick up some of those new glasses you want that you need for that delicious bourbon you're going to have if you're going to try to tailgate this fall, if that happens, or just want to hang out eating alone or with your spouse, whatever you're doing. Head on over, enter that promo code WRONG for 15% off. Support the people who support our show. Really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Let's go figure out what the heck's going on with these other guys.
No, I'm not coming out.
I'm staying right here. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm still mad.
I'm
Listen,
mad too.
You all, I'm so tired of your arguments. I have the same argument with my daughter. If you do not come out right now, neither one of you are going to win. I will take this victory and I will leave and you will both get L's. Whoever comes out, if you want to win, get out here now. I'm over it.
Fine.
Okay, fine.
Fine. All right.
Josh, we can't let him win.
No.
Sorry, I guess.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Guys, I'm tired of this animosity. I'm tired of this vitriol you have for each other about your offices. It's ridiculous. Ryan.
He just
Ryan,
always pushes my buttons.
Josh, here's what's going to happen. We're going to go to my office individually, the two of us, separate times, and we're going to talk about what's going on. Josh, you're first.
I don't want to go to your office.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right, Josh, go ahead and have a seat on that Chase Lounge over there for me.
You got to stop buying
have
furniture.
Have a seat, please.
Man. All right, I'm sitting down. Look, I'm sorry about what's going on out there. I've really fallen into a deep hole with this Grover thing, and it's really messed me up, and I'm just a little on edge because it's really freaking me out.
Why don't you tell me what's going on with yourself?
Well, I was trying to look up stuff for this week, and like looking at all the Sesame Street characters, I just got like really, really freaked out. They're all really weird, man.
Yeah, and that's understandable.
And I stumbled across Grover, and I was looking at the picture, and he looked me in the eye, and I looked back at him, and then he looked at me, and he was still on my screen, and then I clicked on Proto-Grover, and I just haven't been the same since. Like the second I saw it, it changed everything for me.
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
Angry about the fact that he existed. Like just the fact that was created is just, and shown to the nation was just too much. And the fact that they let him get away with what he did and he's still doing, the fact that he is still out there doing these things. And I guess now even working with the Count, it's to the point that there's like a grand conspiracy, and it changed Sesame Street forever for me. It's ruined my childhood. And I don't know if you can retroactively ruin a childhood, but it's really thrown me for a loop.
You can't let these problems that aren't Josh's problems bog you down. You have to rise above and focus on Josh.
But I don't think that they're Josh problems. They're Grover problems.
This week, I need you to go forward. And when you have these thoughts and feelings, I need you to think, how does this affect Josh realistically? I need you to focus on the good you have in your life, focus on the people you love, and talk to people if you have issues.
You're right. It's just, what do I do at night when I can't sleep because Gleep's in my dreams?
Oh, I'm sorry. The alarm just went off. You're out of time. You're going to have to reschedule for next week.
Gosh. Okay. Who do I cut my check to?
The receptionist will take care of that.
Okay. Thank you. I'll go get Ryan. Hey, Ryan.
What?
You're up.
Fine.
Listen, just be prepared. It gets weird in there.
It always does.
Ryan, come in, have a seat on that lounge there, please.
Okay. When did you get this?
When I bought that when I did The Office, I wanted to have a nice, comfortable area that you feel open and comfortable in.
Wow, this is comfortable. Why are you behind me?
I just need you to focus on Ryan right now. Ryan, I've seen a lot of anger and animosity. What can you let me in? Tell me what's going on with you right now, Ryan.
Well, I think it's really just because I just can't win, and you just keep winning, and then whenever I try to win, it just doesn't work.
And how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel really bad. I'm sorry. Okay.
Do you feel like there's outside forces that are conspiring against you, that they've got your number, maybe?
My gosh. It's like you're reading my journal. Listen, okay. This week, when I was looking at the count and honestly talking to Josh, it got so scary and so overwhelming. I mean, I learned about this thing that vampires have. It's called arithmomania, where they're obsessed with counting things. And then I was like, you know what? That even more confirms that the Count is a vampire. And then this whole thing with his favorite number, and I think he's going to kill some of the other puppets.
Ryan, honestly, it's important you focus on the now. Focus on the moment and grow from every moment. Tell me this week, how do you think you can grow?
I mean, maybe if I just start, maybe like when I'm trying to sleep, if I just start counting sheep, like one sheep, two sheep, three. Oh no.
Ryan, bring it in. Okay, here's what I need you to do. I need you to go home, look at yourself in the mirror, and just realize you're Ryan and not the Count. The Count doesn't have control on you.
You're right.
You are Ryan. Be Ryan.
You're right. Okay.
Take home and take care of that.
I feel better.
We'll talk about it next week.
I feel better now.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. When you leave, can you send my secretary in?
Do you have a secretary?
She's right outside. That's when you'll get the check to.
Oh. Check? You're charging me for this?
Yes.
Well, guess at least we got to add money.
Thank you.
Wait, Josh, who won?
I don't know that anybody won, Ryan.
Okay, gentlemen. First off, I'd like to say I appreciate your openness, willing to share with me. You're both deeply, deeply psychologically scarred.
That's all confidential, right?
Yeah. You're not going to share that with anybody, right?
No. I mean, I think anybody that knows you knows that already.
Wait,
but
I saw Mike's. Were you recording?
It's for students.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
Students?
It's quality assurance. You may be recorded. It's just used for quality assurance
Okay.
and training
that's fine.
purposes. So this is both of you have very intricate and deeply rooted psychological issues with the Sesame Street characters, and it's going to be really hard to come down to who's more messed up because you're both just really bad.
Can I set up an appointment with you for next week?
You'll have to call the receptionist.
Okay.
I don't actually take any appointments. So after listening to your arguments and your therapy sessions, my thoughts going into this, they flip back and forth a couple times. But there's one person I think is going to really struggle to move on, and that is Ryan.
Wait, does that mean I won?
Yes, Ryan, you are the most deeply psychologically messed up of the group.
I guess that's a win.
I think I kind of won. If you think I can move on.
I don't think you should feel bad about yourself for that one.
Yeah, I think I should feel pretty good, personally.
So, Josh, you're more focused on these conspiracy theories, and I think that's something we're going to have to work to move past. And I think you're just manifesting that fear in Grover.
This is a fair point. I accept the criticism.
So we'll work on that as long as your check clears. Ryan, buddy, you need some help. Not from me, because it seems like a lot of work, but you got to find some help from somebody.
Yeah, and you charge way too much. I feel like I could find a more affordable therapist.
I charge what I'm fair. Josh, you're staying. So Ryan, call my receptionist. She'll recommend someone who likes to work, and they'll be happy to help you out.
We're gonna have to sell so many shirts for me to afford more of these appointments.
Do you think I should go like 3-4 times a week?
You probably should go daily.
I'm going to turn into Chris Traeger. All right. Well, hopefully you guys didn't mind us getting a little bit too personal there with our deep-seated conspiracies.
I think they learned a lot about us this week.
I feel like we got a little bit vulnerable about our trust issues and where they all came from. I want to thank everybody for listening. We really appreciate the support. Continue sharing the show. That is the best thing that you can do. I also want to thank Isle of 8 for the use of our theme song, Jean Jacket. You can check them out on Spotify, Apple Music, or anywhere you can find great music.
Yeah, and the best way you all can help us, help the show, help each one of us, is just tell a friend. If you can share the show with a friend.
All of your friends.
All of your friends. We would at least if one person could tell one friend, but if you all could tell multiple friends, that'd be great. Just let them know the show is really seeming to grow, and we really appreciate that. Like we we didn't really know what to expect when we started this, and just your all's commitment and support has just been incredible, and we're just very appreciative.
11 episodes, y'all. 11.
Yeah, we're in double digits. We survived a pandemic, which we started in, and a vacation, so we're good. We had the wheels hadn't fallen off yet, so that's good. Go ahead and head over to our socials.
Debatable. It might have happened today.
Yes, that's true. Head on over to our socials. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Bookface, whatever you're on. I don't know. At TMIWPod or Tell Me I'm Wrong. Also, be sure to use that hashtag TMIWPod. Let us know who is more seriously messed up, Ryan or Josh. Let us know if you think there's another Sesame Street character you would trust even less than what the people they chose, Grover and Count Von Count. Just give us a follow, share it, like it, give us a subscribe on the Apple 5-star review and a rating would be great. We really appreciate you guys. I just can't say that enough.
You can also check out our website at tmiwpod.com. And if you head over there, you can sign up for our mailing list, send us an email. You can listen to the show. You can find ways to share about what we're doing with people. All that's over there. So head over there, check that out. You can also click the little button up at the top there that says merch and go buy some stuff. We've got shirts. We've got mugs. We have masks. Tell Me I'm Wrong masks.
I'm going to have to get one.
We need those now more than ever. Please wear your mask, and you can go buy one to promote the podcast.
Also, speaking of merch, I got my shipping confirmation, so my shirts are in the mail.
All right.
They're coming. So hopefully by the time this goes up, I will be able to post some pics of the new t-shirts that we have going up.
Be a proud owner of a Tell Me I'm Wrong t-shirt. So head over there, buy some of that stuff, help us out. Help me afford these mounting therapy visits with Joe. The cost is just, we can't even explain to you how much he's charging. And help us out. We'd really appreciate it. And I'm going to echo one more time what those guys said. Share the podcast with your friends. We're going to do some stuff to hopefully make it even easier for you to do that, so you can recruit them over. Use the hashtag. Let us know that you're inviting them to listen to us. And hopefully we can continue growing this Tell Me I'm Wrong family and get some more people on board.
Once again, we just want to say thanks to Southern Draw. We really appreciate you coming along with us and sponsoring us this week. Check them out. Don't forget that promo code WRONG for 15% off your purchase.
One last thing before we sign off. We want to hear your debate ideas. So head over to our website, send us an email. We've already gotten one listener submitted email for a topic. So send us your topics. We want to do what you want to hear. And finally, as always, there is one winner, but we're all losers. Later, losers.
See ya.
Ooh, Josh, tickle me.